Don't adjust your sets because you're totally watching this on a television in the 70s. But the FTI podcast is back. Yeah, at least this week. Probably not next week.
I think next week at this time. Well, no, we'll be home, but I don't know
so
if
maybe
either of us
we
will
might.
be alive.
Yeah, we will be very tired next week. We're still kind of tired this week.
Tell me about it.
So again, welcome back to the FTI podcast. I'm Kyle,
I'm Chris.
and this is where we talk about motorsports and our experience shooting pictures at different events. And man, this weekend was one for the record books for us.
Neither of us watched the NASCAR race. I didn't know who won it till about 3:00 this afternoon when I decided to watch or listen to the Teardown podcast as I was editing pictures. So
who did win it? Because
it was Ross Chastain.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I had to.
Everyone's favorite NASCAR driver.
Yeah. I lost my koozie somewhere, and I just don't want the dogs to chew on it. But yeah, even though it was on after we got home last night, I turned it on for a little bit and then was like, I gotta go to bed, and just turned it off and went to bed. So yeah, it seemed to be an all right race from what I saw. But yeah, let's talk about our weekend. Forget that NASCAR race.
Yeah. The most exciting thing that happened was, well, I wouldn't say exciting, but biggest thing that happened was probably Ryan Blaney's crash.
Yeah, and I mean, while we're just on the topic, not having a safer barrier on that wall, I mean,
and it looked like there were like two spaces on either side of it. Like, thank God he didn't.
Yeah,
hit
go into
the
one
corner.
of those. Yeah,
like, or go in between and hit like a safety vehicle or something. Be like Montoya Part 2.
Hitting the jet dryer. So yeah, why don't you?
Speaking of jet dryers, we could have definitely used a jet dryer for ourselves on Friday.
My shoes still aren't completely dry. I was doing the last of my laundry, and I was getting ready to throw those in the washing machine, and they were still slightly damp. Four days later?
Yeah. So Chris and I were in we were taking the sights of Central Ohio. And a lot of backcountry roads that Google decided we needed to see. As we went to, we started the weekend off at Mid-Ohio for the, get this right here, Permco Vintage GP Mid-Ohio Speed Tour. Okay. Got it. Where probably the biggest series there was Trans Am, and then it was the is it
SVRA?
Okay.
What it stands for, I don't know. I remembered earlier in the weekend, but
SVRA. Let's see.
I hashtagged something
Sports
with it.
Car Vintage Racing Association.
Oh, yeah, that would make a lot of sense.
Yep.
That's what they raced this weekend.
Svra. And so that's how we started off, and so we camped out this weekend at Mid-Ohio. And so
he's starting early this week.
Oh man, there he is. He said, "I've missed you all weekend."
I got home last night and couldn't not hold him. He demanded it. But yeah, started off with a very, very, very damp Mid-Ohio.
Yeah, the day started out fine. It was just sprinkling on the well, it was intermixing on the drive down, uh off and on, and then we get there and it's not raining or sprinkling or anything, and then we're, getting set up and it's starting to sprinkle a little bit, and then Chris decided to camp us under some trees, thinking that
I
would be
thought it
a
was a good idea.
thought it would be a good idea, except for even when it wasn't raining, it was still raining for us, and it was also sapping
Well,
all over.
if I looked at the forecast early, when we got there, it looked like it was going to rain all weekend. When we first got there, I'm like searching the weather channel. I'm like, oh, we're screwed. It's going to rain all weekend. So I thought, oh, well, the tree will be like slightly extra protection. Because I don't know if you've ever well, you slept in a trailer. I tent camped. I don't know if you've ever slept in a tent in the rain, but it doesn't matter how waterproof it is. Sometimes something's gonna get in.
Hey, you had an easy up. You could have put your easy up over your tent
That's what
too.
I did for NASCAR last
Oh,
year.
really?
Yeah, because on Friday it rained. So when I was going out into the infield to take pictures, I just put my easy up over my tent to make sure that I was at least like double protected from the elements. But yeah,
But so it was, and so both of us have for this year, instead of walking around the expansive property there, uh, Chris has this fancy little electric bike, and I have a basically a weed whacker motor strapped to an aluminum scooter. It's nicer than what I'm going on, but it's very loud and has no fenders. And when you're riding through rain and mud, uh, yeah, it tends to spray up all over you.
see, I don't know what's worse with that is you getting the mud up all down your back or me sitting on the bike and all of the water just falling into my lap.
From your front tire.
Well, just in general, all the rain coming down
Oh
and
yeah. So you're just getting
just getting
I'm gonna
drenched.
stop making that motion.
Yeah,
Uh
I think it was when I went to go get my hoodie or whatever I did and to go get you your raincoat. I'm riding back and that was when it started like getting a little worse or
yeah, it
oh
was
no, wait. I wasn't going back to get my hoodie or anything like that. Kyle, what did I forget to do?
oh, Chris did something worse than forgetting your lens cap is on. He forgot a battery in his camera. And not just the camera, not just one battery. Can your camera take is it 2 or 3?
2.
Okay, so you forgot both batteries.
Yes. I forgot both batteries.
And so we get probably the farthest point in that you can get to the infield, and there's only one way across. And so we're all the way across mid Ohio, down in this valley, and it's raining. And then what did you like go to turn it on and take a picture? And then you're like, oh, why is this
Yeah,
autofocusing?
we literally got down there and I went to turn it on and went, oh, it doesn't. Oh wait, no, that one only has one battery because I was using my 7100.
Oh,
So I'm using my backup camera that has maybe gotten 500 prior to this weekend. Got maybe 200 shutter clicks this year, and yeah, it's been one of those ones where, I mean, you made the comment when I got it out of the bag. You're like, wow, you're actually going to use it this weekend because half the time when we're at an event, I'll get it out of my bag and use it for a couple clicks because I'll put my 24 or my whatever on it, and then now it's I'll put my 270 to 200 on it and be like, oh, I'm bored with this one. Let's go back. So yeah, that was big cardinal sin. I mean,
Yeah, I mean, I did it last year, but that was also my first event ever shooting in racing last year,
yeah.
which actually is coming up on a 1 year of our first credentialed event. So congratulations to us.
I
Uh,
was telling Josie about that today. I was Josie, your wife. I said, hey, last year I was like, this year I actually have to participate with you guys. I said last year I was just your weird work friend, and Kyle and I were kind of like at this point internet friends. Like we
yeah,
hadn't met
we
in
had
real
never
life.
met in person. We had maybe like chatted a few times
Yeah, I
on
think we
Messenger,
chatted on Messenger.
and that was it.
And I was like, this year I actually have to participate in things. I can't just be like, okay, bye.
Well, and then my children have adopted you as well.
Yeah, adopted might be an understatement there. But yeah, this year I think we're gonna have a lot of fun. But yeah, back to our
I promise, folks, we're not brother husbands. It just seems like it.
not sister wives, brother husbands.
Brother husbands.
But yeah, day one, very, very, very wet.
Yeah, at one point, we had decided to take a break and rode back. And at this point, it's like completely downpouring. Um, I was I had planned for the weather and brought a raincoat with me and some boots. So my feet and top was pretty dry. Um, but my legs were not. My pants were soaked. Chris,
I had done none of the above.
he had tennis shoes.
Well,
Not even waterproof ones.
I did kind of prepare for that because I brought 4 pairs of shoes with me.
Yeah.
So
And
I
he had
did
no
have
raincoat.
enough. And like I said, when we were doing that, I looked at 2 different windbreakers that could have been used as raincoats. 2 that I had used last year, or one of which I had used last year during NASCAR trucks when it rained during practice that I could have worn. I looked at both of them. I was going through my closet to get clothes, and I was like, I should probably throw that in my bag. Didn't do it. I was getting like a pillowcase or something down in the basement Thursday or Friday before I left, and looked at a jacket I had hanging up down there and was like, I should probably grab that. Didn't do it.
Nope. But so we were driving back to the campsite, and at this point, like my pants were 100% soaked. I think you were 100% soaked, and it's not even just you're like your hat's soaked, but then like your face is just soaked because you're riding
Well, yeah. I mean, I
a
didn't even
motorized vehicle in the rain, and
I
it's
didn't even
just
wear my glasses back when I grabbed my battery and stuff because by the time I got to our campsite, I couldn't see out of my glasses.
you need little windshield wipers.
I was literally, as I'm riding back, trying to like wipe the water off of my glasses. So by the time I got back to the campsite, not only were they just, covered in water, they've got fingerprints and smears all over them. I think they're still in my bag back there. They probably just, because I never put those back on all weekend.
And then so at that point, Chris looked at me and he said, "There's a Walmart like 5 miles away. Let's go."
I
So
was
I can get
going
a raincoat.
I was going with or without you.
Yeah.
Because
And I was like, "Okay, I'll go."
yeah, that was
And then
that
we
was
bought
awful.
rain pants just in case. And hopefully we don't have to use them the next 2 weekends.
I think my rain pants are still in your car.
They are still in my
Okay.
car.
You said that, and I was just like, wait, where are my rain pants?
I also think I have Josie's tickets for this weekend in your car.
Oh, I saw that stuff. I'll have to. It's still in my car.
And
Yeah.
then we went back after going to Walmart, uh, back to the Rain Fest, and it was nice. I don't remember what event we stopped on, uh,
Yeah.
but we didn't shoot much longer after that.
There's a common theme here where day one was a fiasco.
Yeah. Oh no, we made it. We were. It was during lunch break is when we went to there, and so we thought at first that it was like a catered lunch, and we had like a certain time to get back, or at least I did.
Yeah.
And then we got back, and we were like, oh, we didn't really have to rush. It's just a ticket to use at the concession stand, which we totally made a mistake of which concession stand we went to on Friday and Saturday. Uh, because it was really nice. I don't think they did this last year at all. Gave media uh, a ticket for concessions for all 3 days, but that was so nice. Hopefully it sticks around for the next 2 weekends. Um, but they give you like a menu item and like a main dish, like a burger, hot dog, whatever, and then you get chips and a drink, which is nice. Um, but the one in the paddock has fried food and had chicken tenders and fries and some other things like onion rings and all that. And yeah, we messed up. And
I,
so we went to that one on Sunday.
I'm like 50-50 on that because like afterwards I kind of felt like crap after
With the
eating.
fried food.
Yeah. I think this week, if we do get those, I'm just gonna get my grilled chicken sandwich
Grilled chicken
and French
sandwich.
fries.
Yeah,
Yeah,
that chicken was good though.
it was,
It
but
hit the
man,
spot because I was hungry.
in that heat, it was a little much.
Yeah.
Well, that's like you guys make fun of me when I don't eat during the day and stuff. It's like I don't handle that very well. I mean, you saw Saturday once it got hot how much fluids I actually drink in a day. So,
Oh yeah, and I we made the mistake. So we split our time this weekend between Mid Ohio and Summit Motorsports Park, which holy crap, uh, that was that was a time. Uh, but so the problem there is, so we drive out to Norwalk, which is it's only about an hour away from Mid
and
Ohio.
1 hour and 1 minute,
Yeah,
depending on which way Google decided to take us that day.
whichever it decided was the quickest for some reason. It was different every time. And so we get out there, and I think we brought the rain from Mid Ohio because
We checked
they,
Facebook. You called.
yeah, we were sitting at Mid Ohio taking pictures, and I called them, and Chris checked Facebook, and they were like, "Yeah, we're running, we're doing it." I was like, "All right, cool." So we're like, "Let's go," and we get there, get to the media center, and it just starts sprinkling, and then it stops, and they start drying the track off and prepping the surface and everything, and then it just downpours to hell and back. And I think we waited maybe half an hour, um, and then we were like, let's go. And then they
Half
ended
an
up
hour.
getting stuff.
We were there for 2 hours.
Were we there for 2 hours?
Yeah. Because I don't think we left Mid Ohio. I don't know, like 2, 3 o'clock.
Oh,
No, probably 1 o'clock because it was shortly after lunch that we left.
yeah, because we shot some more because we just parked and then drove
Yeah.
down because we also decided after we were completely soaked that
No more scooters.
we can just drive my car, my SUV that has leather seats, so we don't have to worry about getting the seats wet, which also has heated seats to help dry us out. We can just drive that to the main area that we wanted to go shoot, and that was a genius idea that we came up with instead of riding open vehicles in the rain.
Yeah, that wasn't our brightest idea. But yeah, I think we were at the summit Norwalk. We were there for 2 hours in the media center alone, I think.
Yeah, and we didn't bring any of our laptops or anything to edit pictures. Chris didn't even bring a camera bag with him. He just came in strapped with his cameras.
Well, after the NASCAR photo meeting last year where they were like absolutely no bags.
Well,
We
this
want
wasn't
to
NASCAR, Chris. This was
we want to
NHRA.
we want to see your numbers, blah 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 blah. I kind of thought about it and it was like, yeah, I mean, and then all the trouble carrying your bag all day does. You carry the bag all day and your back hurts because you overload the bag because you have the bag. So you're like, oh, I'm going to put every lens I own, every accessory I own.
And your back's all sweaty.
Yeah. You're like, it's daylight, but I might need this studio light. And, this thing alone, what, 7 to 10 pounds probably?
Yeah.
So plus my other camera and 2 lenses. I mean, yeah, I end up carrying like 30 pounds on my back if I leave it all in there.
And then so we left Norwalk after we gave up. And then we drove the long way back to Lexington, where Mid Ohio is at. And then
we didn't drive the long. Well, we did drive the long way back. We took about 3 different detours though.
Yeah,
because Google Maps would tell me to turn on one street and then decide, oh no, let's turn on the next street.
Like and tell you right before.
Yeah. And then we kind of
turn it now.
I kind of just GPSed us back to Mid Ohio, not thinking about the restaurant that's in town, 5 miles away from Mid Ohio. So
yeah,
that was just a fiasco.
But we had to turn around a few times.
Day one was just a primer for how great the rest of the weekend was.
Yeah, it was.
We couldn't
all
have
the mistakes
3
were made
great
on
days.
A1.
Yeah.
And then Saturday, so then we went and had dinner at a local restaurant. It's actually called the local, isn't it?
At 97.
The local at 97. Which the food was great. Shout out to them. We both got strombolis. They were really good. So if you're ever at Mid Ohio and you want a good stromboli, leave Mid Ohio and go down the road.
I don't know, man. If they have one of them fair stromboli trucks, I think those are some of the best strombolis and pepperoni rolls. Like when they just slather it in garlic butter. Yeah.
I want a fair bloomin' onion. That's what I want.
But yeah, so day 2, the probably the pinnacle of the weekend. Probably, I mean, I don't know how we're gonna top that for the rest of the summer. So yeah, why don't you start? On.
Grosjean could win this coming weekend, and it's not gonna top it. So we so first of all, we start. We're just gonna skip to it. We shot some sports cars at Mid Ohio in the morning, had lunch, and then shot some more, and then got in the car and headed towards Norwalk again for the fun Google ride. It was a lot easier this time. Um,
way easier not going through 6 different weather patterns on our way there.
yeah.
Every time I turned off my wipers on Friday, we would just hit another rain storm, and yes.
So we were booking it there. I mean, we were going all legal speed limits. Uh,
72 and a 55, very legal.
yeah. Um, it's called plausible deniability, Chris. Um, so we're rushing to get there because we think we only have 2 hours of racing to cover, because that's what the schedule said. And so we get there, and we're just on the road waiting to get into the parking lot, and we hear the cars go, and I mean we were right behind where they were. There's this big billboard so people can't see the cars, and it looks good on TV. But I mean, that was the first thing that was like, oh my god,
Yeah, I
that
mean,
was loud.
literally right as we passed the strip itself, one went. I mean,
And it was
I
we
don't know
could
if it could have been
feel it
better
in the
timing.
car. Like, that was insane. And so we get in, we make our way um to the strip, and we're there in the dead zone. And I mean, it's close, can't even describe how close we
It
were.
should be called the death zone.
It almost seems illegal to be that close.
I can pull the picture up on my phone, and
let me see if I can pull up the picture. Okay. That is how close we were.
that wall is the wall of the drag
Like,
strip. You could almost reach out and touch the left side
that
header
is,
as they drove by.
and I mean, that experience. So we started, and it was just like pro stocks at first, and we were like, okay, that's fine. These aren't that loud, It was they're fast.
Yeah.
And then a couple of those broke, and they were cleaning the track, and they have this really annoying machine on these tractors that
Kyle
like
doesn't like the tire dragging.
oh my god. And they have these tires that are on, like, just drag tires in a row.
I want to
they're
say it's
just
called the tire dragon. Like,
is it?
yeah. And it just
And it
drags tires.
Drags tires, and it's that squeaking noise of the tires screeching across the asphalt. And it's like you have to have your earplugs in because it's just the most obnoxious sound.
And if you've never been to a drag strip before, please don't be that person and bring ear protection. I saw entirely too many people without ear protection. And this is coming from somebody who did live music and concerts for 10 years of my life, multiple times a week sometimes. And I mean, there are times my hearing is just absolutely gone. So, yeah, if you're going to at least the drag strip, please wear hearing protection.
Wait.
What?
They use it on oval racing as well sometimes.
Yeah,
Over to the track. I did not know that.
I think I got it from NASCAR because of the traction compound they were using in 2020 and 2021 when they weren't practicing and qualifying. They put the traction compound down and used the tire dragon.
It is a really horrible. Apparently, IndyCar has used it before too. Interesting.
Probably on the ovals.
Yeah, but I mean, the sound that it comes off of,
yeah, it was
because it like slowly rotates the tires.
the opposite
and
direction of
then drags them.
Well, it also didn't help. Again, we were 10 feet away from it.
Yeah.
You know?
It was the equivalent of like nails on a chalkboard. And so they get all this. We're just going crazy today. Uh this what happens when we spend 3 days together.
Yeah.
Well, 4,
Yeah.
I think. Yeah, because you were over at my house on Wednesday.
Well, I mean, at this point, Thursday. At this point,
There-
5 because now we're on this.
Yeah. And so okay. Getting there. So then the top fuel. So as, if you haven't noticed, we're from Ohio. It's only in our name, and we're in a lot of Ohio racetracks. But there's this amusement park. Maybe you've heard of it. It's called Cedar Point, America's Roller Coaster. We're not sponsored, but if they want to, I'll take it. I'll take your money, or some free passes.
Yeah, just a day ticket for the
yeah,
2 of us, your wife and kids.
and fast pass
Yeah.
plus. Make it worth the while. But record a podcast there.
Yeah.
It
There
won't
you
do
go.
you any good, but we'll do it. We'll take roller coaster photos.
Yeah.
That would be so easy.
Dude. Slow shutter speed of the roller coaster train going past you.
And you get one person's face in focus.
Yeah. You're doing it like 10 so you can get the one person in focus.
All right. So why I mentioned this is because there's a roller coaster there, or was there, called Top Thrill Dragster, which every time I try to say Top Fuel Dragster, I always almost say Thrill.
All weekend have had to kind of stop myself for a second when I'm trying to say Top Fuel, not to say
Top Thrill.
Top Thrill.
They are quite top thrill though. So they bring them out. And this was after the bikes and all that, wasn't it?
Yes.
And then they bring the top fuels out. And mind you, again, we're right next to it.
We're know it's going to be loud.
We're not even, half a football field maybe away from the cars. We're at the starting line, maybe a little shorter of a distance. So like
we're
30,
right at where
40
they
yards.
Stop for the
burnouts.
The burnouts.
And so I wasn't expecting it, but they did the burnout. The one did. It was only one because they were doing qualifying. And I'm like, okay, that was loud. And then it goes back. And then I thought, oh, that's how loud they are. And I was wrong because it starts as we're leaning up against this wall trying to get a picture.
We had to kneel.
Yeah, so our head is level with the wall, like our neck, like our shoulder, everything. Or my shoulder might have been up a little bit more because I was leading. And then your lens is in front of you, your camera. And then this thing freaking fires off. The tree counts down and it goes. And I jumped. It's just the sound that
the NHRA makes. Guys that do that, I give them props because even when I knew it was coming, even when I kind of figured out the routine of what I need to do to get the picture I needed, I still jumped every time.
No, every time. Like I wasn't even ready. I was ready, but I was not ready for it to go off. And it's even harder when you're shooting and you can't see the tree because your eye is in your viewfinder.
Again, I'm left eye dominant. So the whole time my right eye or my other eye is behind the camera. So I'm like, I toward about halfway through just had to realize no, I gotta shoot this left eye or right-eyed and keep my left open. And it's very hard to, for me at least, I don't know about you, to pay attention to the viewfinder while also having your left eye open to look at the tree.
See, it's not difficult for me because I do this quite often when shooting everything. Um, just so I can have like awareness of what's coming next. Because sometimes I feel like if my eye is just buried in the camera, I'm gonna miss it. And so, especially like doing pannings,
Yeah.
I'll like peek out my left eye and be like, okay, something's coming. Get ready.
Yeah.
Yeah, but this one, I was so they have like these staging lights at the top of the tree, and it's like a half circle, a white line, and then another half circle. And so as soon as I would see like the first half circle at the top fill in, and then I'd see the other one fill in, and I knew the white line and the bottom one
Yeah.
was coming. And so then that point, I closed my left eye, and put my eye up, and then I'm just like, it's gonna happen, it's gonna happen, it's gonna happen, it's gonna happen. And then as soon as you like hear it, you just hold the shutter down and then just
And I mean, we definitely looked like noobs because none of those guys reacted the way we did.
no,
Now,
no. I don't think there was at least one that he did not have hearing protection in. If he did, you muted yourself.
maybe he was just deaf.
Yeah, I mean,
Because I mean, okay, what
you would think you would still want to protect your ears.
I explained it to my coworkers today. What you explained. Now, if you've ever been to the drag strip, you know the concussion of a top fuel dragster going past you. I mean, that's why everyone loves it. But what did you explain it as while we're standing, 3 feet away from them?
Okay, so let me also preface this. This was my first time at a drag strip ever in my life. I know
The
that's
guy who's been
astonishing.
around racing since,
That's
yeah.
astonishing to people, but I've spent every Saturday of my freaking life at oval tracks, because I worked at one for 11 years. Um, yeah, so this was my first time. So my first time going to a drag strip, and I'm right by the wall. Never seen a Top Fuel before. It is like every square inch of your body is being punched at the exact same time.
But not by one fist, by
Yeah,
it's like
like
multiples all
it's
at once.
all of them at one time. Like you are just being waylaid for like 2 seconds. Because as soon as it happens, it's over. And that happens. Well, yeah. So the first one is just the loud, like abrupt noise of the
Well, the funniest thing is we really got, if you think about it, we really got to experience the first time twice there.
quit muting yourself. You keep touching the mic.
I tried to move the button. My arm likes to fall down, but it's such a tight fit in there.
It really is. Well, there's screws in there, Chris.
Yes.
That's why it won't rotate.
Oh, that's why I usually just move the whole mic itself. I'm trying to do a different setup today. But we really got to experience it twice because the first one was in the far lane from us.
Yeah, and that one
was just noise, yeah.
But you didn't feel like the heat and everything. Yeah. And then, the next two came out, and now there's one in the lane that we're in, and it's just loud heat.
Yeah,
and just like the vibration of the engine.
We were basically face level with the exhaust. Or the exhaust headers. We were face level of those blowing alcohol and fuel, alcohol and gas, expended gas out of them. So yeah, we were literally right there in all of that mess.
Which I mean, I guess it's like the equivalent. I would imagine of like a working on like a flight deck or something in the Navy, and you're having jets fly past you
Yeah.
on launch or something. Like that's probably what it's close to.
Yeah, I think we both said, I mean, that was the experience of a lifetime, and if we never get to do it again, um I think it'll be something, well, you already have kids, but I think that would be something I would tell my children about.
Yeah, and it's the bad thing is it's so hard to put it into words how it is. Like I can send anybody I know to a drag strip to go
Yeah.
do it, but you're not going to be where we were unless are a credentialed photographer. And I mean, for all you photographers out there, if you haven't gone and done it because you think, oh, it's drag racing, it will be easy, go do it because it's not. It's hard. It's unlike any other
And since
motorsport.
this is not my personal account, I mean, why is it so hard to do the mirrored things?
It's just the opposite, Chris.
Yes. But I mean, this is so let me add the extra visual of how I was taking these pictures. So I'd watch the tree turn, you get the staging lights. I'd watch the staging lights. I shot most of it vertically because I was just focusing on the one car in the lane closest to us. So if we got something, we thankfully we lucked out with like the cars we really wanted, because we're both aesthetic boys. We got the cars we really wanted in our lane, just the monster car and the Napa car, really.
And the Jegs car.
But I
Good thing
mean,
that Summit car was in the other lane.
I'm watching the tree, I'm like, making sure I'm lined up. And as soon as they came, as soon as they staged and the first yellow, I switch to my left eye, make sure I'm still good, and just start slamming my shutter button and hiding my face behind the camera. I don't
See,
know what my camera was going to do.
so by the time that they were by us, my camera's already down.
Yeah, because I was watching you a couple times. I can shoot a little more on mine. I think I can shoot until my memory card or the internal memory fills. So I mean, I would just wait, 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 and I have a couple of the shots where it's blowing out the fuel before they take off.
Holy
But
shit.
yeah, I mean, I've got my Mac set up here next to the computer. I don't have the NHRA stuff in yet, but I mean, going through some of the pictures this weekend, and I can't wait to get to those memory cards.
Oh
But
yeah. I mean, the only shame is that there's no video allowed.
yeah,
Because man, could I make some amazing TikToks.
yeah, and
Which there's not a lot of NHRA content
no, there's well,
out there.
and we've had this discussion before, whether it be local tracks or whatever. And I've had this conversation with a lot of people in the past, is these series and track promoters don't use social media to their advantage. Not at all.
Well, Mid Ohio does, like the week before.
Yeah, but I mean, I have gotten I'll say I've gotten a lot of ads for the races.
I've gotten a lot of emails. They do a lot of emails, Mid-Ohio.
Yes, they do a lot of email
Like every single
blasts.
day of an event, there's at least 2 emails sent out,
Um,
which is nice.
they have done a lot of promotion on these races. I'll give them that. I mean, I've gotten a lot of paid targeted promotions for that, so that's good. But
It's like, you already got me. Quit spending
yeah,
your money on me.
you know, but some of these like local tracks and stuff, and some of these series, why don't you have your grandkid? I know your grandkid likes TikTok. Why isn't your grandkid out there making funny TikTok videos? You know, I should sent you that one that I made, and I was giggling the whole time with that.
But they don't. They don't
But
do
yet
this
they
because they're
don't.
just like, "Well, we get fans."
You know, I've been sending you them occasionally because Hendrick is finally starting to get out there and send some of it. But yeah, with the video thing before we get too off
Well,
track.
yeah, because 3 of the 4 drivers actually have a personality.
Yes.
The
I
one
would
just
say two of them. I don't know about Willie B yet.
yeah. 2 of them
Uh
definitely do.
yeah, two of them definitely do. The other two questionable. Chase does if you see some other videos, but if it's like a sanction, I'm gonna just say sanctioned video. No, he's about as dry as they come. But yeah, the video thing was a little weird because I don't usually take videos. I don't care too much, but I mean, even I was having fun with some of the video stuff. I was having ideas as we were going through the paddock, just hanging out of different video ideas. And if you put some of these things out, not so much IndyCar and NASCAR, but IMSA and like this weekend, full access to the paddock.
Yeah, I
You
mean,
know, we were talking,
we were literally driving through the road in between the paddock,
yeah.
like, just to get around. Like, anybody could do that, and anybody could just go pretty
I
much
mean,
anywhere,
IndyCar
minus, like,
weekend,
pit lane.
you spend the extra, is it $40 for the paddock pass?
Um, it's let's see what the going rate is right now.
And you get to go in. And especially if you have kids, my boss took his nephew down this weekend. He was by the way, he was a little mad he didn't get to see us and meet you because I talk about you so much. I
Oh,
got
who, your
yelled at.
boss?
Yeah, he was like, I didn't see you at all. I said, well, I said, I looked for you guys where you parked last year. He goes, we were right there. I said, I thought I saw the truck, but I wasn't sure. But
Okay, so a paddock pass, is $50
on top of your ticket,
on top of your ticket.
okay.
And if you want pit lane access, it's 105.
Okay.
I mean, if you buy them earlier in the season, like February, it's quite a
It's
bit
pretty
cheaper.
discounted, yeah.
It's like $30 extra, which isn't bad. I mean, it's cheaper than what camping costs.
Um,
$420 for camping.
is that the reserve
200
spots or
No, that's just an RV weekend camping. A tent camping spot is $295.
but that comes with 2 tickets if you look
Yeah, it
at
comes
them.
with 2 tickets,
Okay.
but
I was like,
it's still expensive.
camping last year cost me $75 for IMSA.
I mean, you can get a weekend ticket for $85,
yeah.
which isn't bad. But I mean, this past weekend, let's see if they still have the ticket prices up. A weekend general admission was $60. $60 gets you anywhere on the property, which is not bad.
Yeah, I mean, and like I said, with kids, the drivers love kids. So my boss, he had his nephew with him, and he said the kid probably sat in 7 or 8 cars. Just if they would walk up and the driver or owner would be standing there and they'd be like, "Hey, buddy, you want to get in the car?" And after the first one where he was a little shy about it, he said he'd walk up to drivers, "Can I sit in your car?" And they'd be all excited,
Yeah,
"Oh
because
yeah, go for it."
I mean, it's it's the same thing with even local tracks. If you
Oh
go in the
yeah.
pits after the races, kids sit in the cars. I mean, I did it
Oh,
when I was a kid.
we need to
My
take
kids got to sit in a USF 2000 last year,
we need to
which
take
was
your
cool.
youngest to a dirt race one time and get her in a sprint car.
Oh yeah,
That would be fun. But
she would have a blast at a dirt race.
back to NHRA. Not only was the experience with the funny cars and the top fuel cars,
Fuel, not thrill.
I mean, it
They're
was
very
just
thrilling.
it was. I mean, obviously the coolest thing we've ever done taking in all the motorsports stuff. But the people of NHRA,
They were. I'm not. We're not saying. We're not saying that
anyone
other
else is
media people
mean or
are mean, or angry, but maybe they just have more volume to deal with.
yes.
Um, there wasn't a lot of media at the
No,
NHRA events,
there was a
which,
handful of us.
uh, um, because I was actually surprised we got accepted, having never covered drag racing before. But they were super nice. They were thanking us for coming out
We
to
even
to
got
shoot,
invited
and
back, us two
yeah,
idiots walking around like, what do we do? They
yeah,
invited us
the
back.
Mary, who is the in charge of media for Summit Motorsports Park. I mean, she might be the nicest lady that I've met
All of racing?
in all of racing. She's super nice. Um, and last year I was trying to get Tonight Under Fire, but I ended up having to work at another racetrack that night. Um, but she had allowed us to come in there, and you know, and they were like, "Come on back whenever you want to come shoot, just shoot us an email and we'll get you in." And the NHRA guy was like, "Yeah, you guys want to come back? Just let us know and we'll put you on the list."
I mean, a full beverage cooler.
Yeah,
I
and
mean,
it wasn't just water; it was
that vitamin water, Coke, and
yeah.
I mean, we joke if there's pop available, I'm drinking it. So, an ice cold Coke after spending the day out and right on the asphalt of the track.
And it looks like they did actually have
Dinner.
food. They had dinner as well. So
We
I
just
don't
had
know if they have
we had our
lunch or
hearts set
anything.
on trying another restaurant.
Yeah, so we went to so if you're in Lexington, Ohio, at Mid Ohio,
the
and you
second
didn't
free plug of the or like
and
third
you
free plug.
yeah, third or fourth, and you don't pack any food with you, and you don't want to eat at Mid Ohio, head on over to Bucks if you got some time.
If you
I
got
didn't. We
bored
didn't do it.
kids,
They have a go-kart track. They have mini golf. I think they have batting cages and stuff. Maybe an arcade. I'm not sure on the arcade, but and then they have some really good food. I mean, I had a chicken wrap. Chris had a French dip. I mean, it was good food. The people were really nice, and it's a racing themed.
it's all Mid Ohio themed.
Yeah,
Like,
it's not racing themed. It's Mid Ohio themed. Um, and it's cool. They actually have some old photos. We didn't go up and look at them, but I saw them over on the wall, down in the bar. They have some old photos, I think, of Mid Ohio, and then they have like a few themed items, specials for the weekend. But then they have like some special drinks that are named after, like they have a Mid Ohio margarita and stuff like that.
They had an IndyCar cocktail and like a
Yeah,
vintage cocktail, right?
yeah. And then they had a burger that was a vintage burger or something, and so I mean they really get into the theming, and so it's a good way to like wrap up your night after watching racing.
Well,
If you're
we forgot to mention this during the local at the 97. They had live music too.
yeah, and I mean it's hit or miss sometimes when you get live music, especially if it's a one man band type
Yeah, just
situation. But it was he was really good. I didn't see him or catch his name, uh, but it was really good. He played a pretty good mix. It was basically a human jukebox, but it was all good. It all sounded good.
yeah.
Unfortunately, he played Sweet Caroline, and everyone
All
in the
the white
bar,
people lost their minds.
all the old people.
Yeah. Well, I think that's just become an internet meme at this point. It started off with like, yeah, it happened at concerts and this and that, and then yeah. But
I tell you what, though, guys, you want to know who's the biggest partiers out of anybody at a racetrack? It's the freaking marshals. It's those those very stern, nice, very nice but stern guys that you see waving those flags in those
usually
all
older
white.
folks.
Yeah, but man, do they party, because we were in the workers campground this weekend, and uh, they stayed up later than we did, and they were rip roaring, having a good time.
Yeah, I gotta say, with over the weekend, and I think this is true with both of us with every event we do. We're the youngest by at least 2 decades, for the most part, except our one friend.
Yeah,
Uh,
our dirt
what's his
friend.
Dirtbag is his Instagram,
Yeah,
correct? Yeah, go
yes.
check him out. He's a nice guy. He's putting out some quality content. He's always improving. So we'll shout out our friends when we see them. But we're uh, we're always the youngest by at least 2 decades.
Yeah,
But
not so much at IndyCar.
well,
IndyCar's
yeah,
got a lot of
yeah, you get
youngins.
the young guys, but
Um,
at most of these other events, we're
yeah, I mean,
definitely
at the dirt tracks, it's basically three of us that are under 40.
under 60. Jesus.
I mean, which is not to say that there's anything bad, but I mean, you got to get some more younger guys and gals too.
Yeah, yeah, bring
Um,
it. Uh, yeah, I felt bad
Ladies,
at the
if you're out there and you like photography and you like motorsports, get into it, because there are definitely not enough women photographers,
yeah.
female photographers in motorsport. Um, Quit doing boudoir and come on over to motorsports. The cars are pretty sexy too, so
But yeah,
you can do dark and mysterious things. There's chains and stuff. It's
well,
fine.
we've already like decided the other night all of my pictures end up like super dark and mysterious because those are like the visuals I like. But yeah, after before we ramble on too much onto Sunday, which I mean ended up being a pretty chill day.
Yeah, I mean, a few of the things that were on track were you were into them, and I was
Yes, I
just not. So it
the
was like these old,
Kyle was mainly not into the vintage cars racing on track.
yeah,
If they were
the vintage
vintage
Grand
race
Prix.
cars, he was about it. But
Yeah, but I mean, there was that one guy in that Mini Cooper who was just,
the blue Mini Cooper
oh
that
my god, that
everyone on the
he,
Mid Ohio group,
yeah,
he just slung it around all day.
yeah, that guy was
I
having a
have so many
blast.
pictures of him that anytime that group was up.
Or that maroon one that was open.
Yeah, this guy right here was just slinging around all day.
Oh
He
yeah.
might have only been doing 55 in some of the places, but he was having the best time.
Oh yeah. Most definitely. And then there was the I mean, just some of those cars. And I get it. They're not high performance race cars,
Yeah.
which we're used to, and they're just so slow around. I think the dark karts probably go faster than some of these
Watching
cars.
some of the,
Well, they definitely do because they go over 100 miles an hour.
the old British roadsters going around. There was that yellow, I think it was the
What
Datsun.
was it,
I
the bubble looking one?
yeah, during the groups like 1, 5, and
Yeah.
whatever, where they were taking the S's at about, I don't know, 30 miles an hour. And I mean, I loved those things because I like some of that stuff. And then, I'm a Miata owner, so that group 1, 5, whatever, 9, they had the Miatas in it. I mean, only 2 Miatas this week. That was a little disappointing.
Well, Chris, you
But
gotta get your Miata out there.
mine's too pretty. I'd wreck it right into a wall.
I can
Someone
get
would
well, I can at least get the picture. I would miss it.
Yeah. Speaking of which, tell us about the video.
Oh. So the camera that I use for the podcast, I also use for taking all of our beautiful TikToks that are on our social medias and stuff. And so it has a switch that goes from photo to video, and I was messing around with the photo setting when we were back at the campsite, and so we get out to the track to shoot, and I guess I just didn't realize the red light wasn't coming on because I was pushing the record button, and so it was a good pretend exercise. And a wreck happened. I was so excited. It was right in front of me. Uh, got good like wheel spin and everything, and then
It
I
wasn't
went
until
on.
way later.
Yeah, that I realized, oh, this isn't taking video. This is not doing anything because I'm not even hitting the shutter button. And so I was like, oh, I didn't get it again. Which is this long running thing with
It's
us.
like just a long running joke of it'll happen in front of us and we're looking left.
Yeah,
Uh
always happens.
yeah, Sunday was I think very chill day. The TA2 race, a lot of fun. You always have like the up and coming NASCAR road racing stars in that. You had Boris Said's son in that. Parker Resloff in that. Who was I can't remember his name now. There's a guy from the MX5 Cup that was in that. I mean, Thad Moffitt, Richard Petty's grandson, in it. So I mean, that's always cool
There
because you
was an
have all those.
Andretti.
Yeah, I just forgot his
Was
name
it
now.
John?
John, I think, or was that his dad? Was it
Uh,
Adam?
it might have been Adam.
Yeah, I think it was Adam Andretti. And a lot of fun. I mean, those cars I think are one of the coolest to shoot all weekend, mainly because they shoot flames. And Kyle yelled at me because we both have a thing where we'll be like, okay, I need to stop doing this thing because I just wasted all my time doing this thing. And he said, friendly reminder to move around. I said, nope, had a mission. There was fire.
Yeah, because he was in one spot the whole race. And meanwhile, I'm walking around, going to different photo holes, getting pictures, getting video. And I look over. Nope, he's still in that one. He made me moved one over.
Yeah, I was switching between the two.
And I was like, what are you doing? Like, because I'm looking at like shots that I'm taking, and I'm like, oh man, with your lens, these would be amazing. But yeah, it was a good weekend. We're gearing up for this coming weekend for IndyCar, which the wife did come down, and she's hungry, and we're
Yeah,
gonna go get some wings for dinner. So she was wanting me to wrap it up soon. But let's make our picks for this weekend.
I'm gonna go hopeful because all of my picks. I told you what Friday to set your NASCAR, and I forgot to set my NASCAR.
You told me that, and I was just like, and then I didn't do it.
I think I tried to open the app and it didn't work, and I didn't think about it till like this morning. But I'm gonna be hopeful, and I'm gonna pick Grosjean.
Okay. And also this weekend we have the NASCAR Chicago race, which I'm bringing a TV so we can watch it.
Oh, for that cluster, I don't know if I've picked him. I'm gonna go with Chase Elliott.
All right, and I'm gonna pick for IndyCar. Just so my daughter can be happy, I'm gonna pick Rossi. Even though we probably know that Pelot's gonna win.
Yeah, I was just gonna say. I mean, I left it wide open for you to probably take the winner in Pelot. Like, I just took 28th place. Are there 28 cars?
He'll find a way.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, Stingray Rob will beat him to it. That's so mean.
Negative kid was
really nice.
Me is trying to be hopeful that maybe.
Who do I want for NASCAR? I don't even know who else.
Honestly, at this point, just throw a name out because I think it's whoever's going to luck out, win the pole. As long as they don't mess up, is going to win the whole thing.
I'm going to go with Blaney.
Okay, and one other thing.
And then F1's somewhere this weekend. Who cares?
It's so funny because last year when I met you, you would not have said those things.
No, I would have been like, I gotta watch the race. And now I'm like,
yeah, you would have.
There was a race this weekend, I think.
You would have been pulling me out of my tent at whatever god awful time of the morning to be
Chris,
like,
it's 6 a.m.
I've got someone to watch this with. I'm gonna. Yeah, you did, and a couple of more things before we go. You got to experience how heavy of a sleeper I am.
Yeah.
So I got up to
get a shower and
I slept through a whole event on Saturday, didn't I?
No, I don't. You got up when they started, when they were getting to the false grid.
Okay, because I thought there was like, one.
No, you woke up like right at 8 o'clock when they were starting.
Okay, one of the F series on track or something. Because, yeah, I was woken up by V8 muscle cars getting ready to pull out on track. Very sleepy and blurry-eyed there, just going at it.
And now this weekend, it will probably be one of my kids coming in and waking you up.
I told your wife today, I'm like, so are the girls going to alternate who comes in and just, tips my cod over or something, or who comes in and slaps me on the forehead?
Well, luckily the little cousin's not going to be here, so she won't do that.
That one's the mean one.
All right, guys. Well, hopefully next Monday we'll be back with you with our next experience.
Well, I'm on vacation next week, so worst comes to worst, I can do Tuesday too.
Tuesday is 4th of July.
Wednesday, then. We'll just do it. Well, too bad we don't have
it. We'll do it live in person.
I was gonna say if we
on
had
Tuesday
there,
and we're just gonna drink.
I mean,
I do the show
tonight, but yes. Anything else?
That's all.
All righty. Yeah, talk to you guys next week.
All right, and I don't want to see you until Tuesday or until Thursday.
I might have told your wife I invited myself for wings, so
I'll
see you in half an hour.
See me in half an hour.
You said wings. She texted me. She goes, "Are you done yet?" It must have been before she came downstairs, and I was like, she's like, I was like, almost. She goes, okay, Kyle wants to get wings before, and I was like,
Oh yeah, we're going to Wing Warehouse, man. Get some
wings, you
wings.
say? I said, I might invite myself. So yeah, I'll see you in a bit, and then I'll see you again on Thursday
Yeah.
through Sunday to see you again Monday, Tuesday, or Wednesday. Probably somehow all three.
Probably all of them.
To see you Friday and Saturday.
We're gonna have to remember when winter comes to actually hang out.
Yeah, it's gonna be like, well, don't worry, the kids will be like, come over.
We're like the Top Gear, the original Top Gear Grand Tour guys, where they don't hang out when they're not shooting anything.
Yeah, basically 100% that. So
Or like
yeah.
radio show people who purposely don't talk during breaks so that way they can only talk while they're on.
Well, half the time, God, we're on tangents after tangent. Half the time we have full conversations before we start this. We
Yeah.
say we start at 6, we don't start till 6:30 because we're sitting here chit-chatting.
BS, and then we're like, oh, we should probably go on.
But yes, we will see everybody this week.
And hopefully you'll see us because you'll actually tune into the show.
Yes.
And we might actually make some other content besides cars on track this weekend. There's some lull time in the evenings.
So
and we're hosting a golf cart parade. So we'll have some video of that if I'm not too many drinks in already at that point. But that's all for the FTI podcast today. We're gonna go get some wings. Go get some wings yourself.
We're gonna get it now. It's we.
It's we.
All right. See you next week, guys.